I guess he was just a regular hedgehog after all.
Legend has it when all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected, the power creates a miracle. I have 6 of them. They're mine. All mine.
I don't think so.
Shadow.
So that was your plan from the very beginning. Or was it a direct order from the president? Now I know who you are. You're that government spy, Rouge the Bat, aren't you?
So you did your homework, is that it? I would say that's an invasion of privacy.
I can say the same thing about you.
Looks like things aren't quite going your way. But since my job was done, I thought it was time to take what's mine and get out of this place.
You are one pathetic creature.
Look who's talking. What about you? Here are the results of the research project called the Ultimate Life Form. But if this picture is of the real ultimate life form named Shadow, then exactly who or what is standing in front of me?
This is Dr. Midman. I have found all 7 Chaos Emeralds. Shit. Someone is trying to get the Eclipse cannon. There's not much time left before the cannon fires again. Can you get over there?
If you want to live, leave the Chaos Emeralds where they are. The fake emerald is good enough for you.
Do you actually believe that you're the real Shadow?
No
Even
doubt.
your memories might not be real, you know?
Even if my memories are not real, it's still me, Shadow. And I will fulfill my promise to Maria. That's the only thing that matters to me now.
Alright, and it's time for Shadow's final stage, Final Chase. So, a lot of rails in this stage, but I'm gonna be honest. Either I've been getting used to the rails, or they're just better in Final Chase. I don't know what it is, but I actually kind of enjoy them. Anyway though, so, this being Shadow's finale, this one is pretty tough, but kind of fun. I think the biggest problem, though, is these things. These weird, gravity tubes that you sort of spin around as you walk around them. They don't always work. They're a little finicky, and for that, if I have a frustration in the stage, it is absolutely these things. It sort of looked fine there, but trust me, sometimes they just don't. I've even had some runs where I just sort of fall off of them. Ones like these aren't so bad, where they're kind of clear-cut, you just run along them, there's no real obstacles to them. But others are just weird, like this one, getting onto it's weird and then you run straight up. I don't quite understand that. They just sort of work. They're kind of like a mini Crazy Gadget, in that they're very annoying, but like, unlike Crazy Gadget, they're just constrained to one tube of weirdo gravity shit. I only have to care about them here. There are a lot of them, sure, but at least I know where they are. When I see them, I know where I have to go. Alright, so we're actually nearing the last upgrade. So up here is one that isn't going to be adding to Shadow's outfit. Thanks, Tube. Really needed that. This is the Mystic Melody. So, have you ever wondered what these pillars are all about? Well, when you have Mystic Melody equipped and you press B button in front of them, they do something. Don't ask me what this one does, because I think it's a waste of time. That's just because I was trying to use it twice. But really, I had already activated it, but again, I don't know what it's for, and also, hot damn, I don't know how I didn't die there. I genuinely don't know how I didn't die. Anyway though, I'm trying to think about things I might not have mentioned before in these final areas. any last summaries I might want to mention. I went over the music. Soundtrack's phenomenal. 9 out of 10. Knuckles I like ironically, and I wish the person actually singing those songs didn't suck. Story, I do just like the format. I think it's pretty darn neat. It's not something you see too often, and it certainly made me enjoy the story a little more, thinking of the framing as just a heist story and a prison break story at the same time. One of which is defined by teamwork or optimism, really. Sonic, as should be obvious by now, or at least it was when he was alive, ever the optimist, that one. That's kind of self-explanatory. It's Sonic's usual attitude, no surprises there, but, to counterpoint Sonic's optimism, you have Shadow, who is just a pessimist. He's just here to say, humanity sucks, they're beyond redemption, I'm just here to make them suffer, there's no point in doing anything otherwise. Meanwhile, Sonic gets arrested by the military, but he doesn't care, he doesn't need to punish all of humanity, he just needs to ruin humanity's day. He'll just inconvenience the people who inconvenienced him. And his arrest was just an inconvenience. But yeah. I think they do a pretty good job of having different vibes all around. I feel like Tails and Eggman are self-explanatory. Tails uses science for good, Eggman uses science for evil. They're both sort of the planners of both their groups, and, their dynamic is obvious. We've known Eggman since the first game. He's always been here. He's always been putting animals in robots. That's his shit. And then you have Knuckles, who's all about protecting the Master Emerald. And then Rouge, who's just, I'm gonna steal it. I like gems. That's a very big gem. I want it. That being said, Knuckles is so just overbearing in his protection. None of this is worth it anymore. I don't need this.
Here we go.
This is too much effort. And that's Shadow's final stage, which I'm not going to get a good rank in, even though I thought I did okay, but it is a pretty tough one.
Maybe I didn't try hard enough.
I guess you didn't, Shadow. But, the question remains, though. Just who is Shadow final chasing anyway?
Now for a little space ride. The capsule clears the colony bad.
I'm counting on you, Tails. Amy, take care of yourself.
Farewell, Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic! It has the same wavelength and properties, but is less powerful than the real one.
The same wavelength and properties. But can I do this?
Farewell, Sonic, my admirable adversary. I feel some strange energy.
Hey, Sonic!
Whoa, I wasn't sure if I could pull that one off. Somehow I managed to use the chaos control.
Chaos control? Are you okay?
I'm worried about Tails and Amy. I hate to ask, but could you help them? This is our last chance. I got it. Before the cannon fires, I'll slam dunk it in there.
Alright, and now, Sonic has survived. And he has one last chance to stop the cannon in Final Rush. Okay, so, this is an even more rail-heavy stage than Final Chase. Same thing goes for this stage, though. Even though it's a rail-based stage, I actually kind of like it. I don't know why. I don't know why the rails work out so much better. Is it just a difference in programming, or have I actually improved? I find the latter kind of improbable. Anyway, Final Chase. Death Egg is still one of my favorite Sonic stages, or Sonic Final stages, but Final Rush is amazing. I love this one. Definitely kind of a nerve-wracking one to actually practice, but I mean, I enjoyed it way more than I enjoyed Crazy Gadget, so I'm glad Sonic didn't die after his worst stage and got this one instead, but I adore everything about this stage. I would perhaps call this formative, if not iconic to me, because just, again, everything's so good about this. The visuals, the song, even the sound effects. I love the sound effects. I love the rail grinding sound effect. I love the weird, like, hoop rings that make the weird noises as you rush by them. Like, okay, I did not play this game as a kid, but this is absolutely a stage I watched a lot, like, in the early days of YouTube, and may even be one of the first speedrunning things I ever really acknowledged, because back in the day, watching people play through Final Rush was just the most captivating thing. Like, genuinely, watching people play this stage was just so cool, because I'm playing this stage, you know, fairly straight. That being said, even if I weren't speedrunning, there are some pretty cool shortcuts you can pull off. Even if you're not just going straight forward, you can probably notice a few different ways to go yourself. But the speedruns will just miss rails and then drop past like half the stage and then land on a different rail. And that was so wild back when I first saw that. And I feel like they've only improved nowadays. Like, Final Rush speedruns have just gotten ludicrous at this point. Oh, and don't even get me started on TASes. I need to rewatch what they can do nowadays, because it's gotta be buck wild. But yeah, no. The thing I love about Final Rush is that, A, it is somehow a rail-based stage that actually manages to be really fun, and not only that, it's a rail-based stage that feels so free. Like, there are a ton of different paths you can go to. Again, there are some pretty good shortcuts, and even when you're not taking shortcuts, there are just, like, different paths you can go down. Like, for a stage where you are just on rails, I don't feel constrained at all, and that's so impressive, and just cool in general. And again, can't praise the music enough, this one's fantastic. Again, like, I watch this stage a lot, so all of it's ingrained in my memory, just from the songs to, again, the sound effects. I love the hoop sound effects, they're so weird, but like, it would be weird if they weren't here. I love the noises they make. You're gonna want to jump off right here to get Sonic's final upgrade, which, might seem familiar. So we jump over here. Now, first things first, I made a mistake earlier on in the stage. Can you guess what it is? Well, once we grab Sonic's version of Mystic Melody... Yep, we can play Mysterious Melodies. The antimatter to Looney Tunes. So, if we play the Mystic Melody here, rings will appear. Notice this is where I cut, and now I no longer have an electric shield. I did enjoy the stage. I hated having to actively not pick up an electric shield, meaning not going for that electric shield, or getting checkpoints, because those could give me electric shields. That bit of game design still frustrates me. So yeah, that's more of a general problem with the game itself, though. Otherwise, the only real problem I have with Final Rush is those vertical rails, which, as you might have noticed, those often give me trouble. They're weird and kind of unwieldy. Also, apparently we just found the trash chute of the Ark, which is now just full. I mean, I guess Eggman's getting this thing prepared to fire, so, down with the trash, I guess. But once you're done with that fairly easy segment, that's a signal that you are done with the stage. Alright, and what do we get for Sonic's finale?
Just made it.
I mean, I really can't be surprised after the rest of the game. I don't think Sonic has gotten a single A rank.
never cease to surprise me, Blue Hedgehog. I thought that capsule you were in exploded in space.
You know, what can I say? I die hard. You actually saved me, you know.
It was a Chaos Emerald, wasn't it? But there's no way you could have activated the Chaos Control using an emerald that's fake. So, there's more to you than just looking like me. What are you, anyway?
What you see is what you get. Just a guy that loves adventure. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog.
I see. But you know, I can't let you live. Your adventuring days are coming to an end.
Alright, and now, our final battle. This one is also ingrained in my head. So, Sonic and Shadow work pretty similarly, and in fact, this battle is almost the same as it was back on Prison Island, except we're pretty much always running because the platform behind us is constantly falling, just to make sure that you don't stop. Whenever Sonic or Shadow fall behind, they will use Chaos Control, and if you fall too far behind, they will use their special move. Sonic's back there is a pretty big tornado that he creates, so keep moving to not get caught up in it. Shadow has a different one, so unlike the Tails vs. Eggman fight, their kind of unique special attacks actually do different things. It is, however, very easy to never see them as long as you just keep running, because they really only use those attacks if you fall behind. That being said, both character lines, again, they're just ingrained in my head at this point. I've memorized them. I've heard these so much, but Sonic's, "I'll use your Chaos Control!" in Shadow's, "This is the ultimate!" Also lines that are just in my head constantly, forever. I will never lose them. They're not applicable in day-to-day life, and yet I will keep thinking of them. Anyway, best way to go about this fight is to pretty much just charge a spin dash. As long as you aren't on it too much, you won't get special attack back, but as you can see right here, homing attack doesn't always work when the other person kinda just keeps running. I believe we'll be seeing Shadow's special attack soon. Again, his is a little different. So he's gonna stop, and then... and he'll use Chaos Spear, which is more of a homing attack, so it doesn't hit as wide of an area, but it will keep following you for a few seconds, but you dodge it the same way at least. You dodge it by killing Shadow immediately. And that's the final battle.
This completes my plan to take over the world. Now begins the glorious era of the Empire of Eggman.
Sonic, I did it!
Awesome job, Tails!
Sonic!
Look outside!
Ooh!
Alright, well then. I feel like I had 2 videos in a row of just being, kind of back and forth. I'm praising the game, but the levels could be, not great. Eggman fared the best in those 2, but I wasn't fond of the rest of them, but I like this game as a whole, even if most of the arc stages aren't great, but then we came in at the end here with Final Chase and Final Rush. Final Chase feels a bit weaker between the two of those. It's okay, but I just feel like Final Rush is just, again, not my favorite final stage in a Sonic game, but absolutely, like, maybe even top 3, I might say. It might be number 2 just after Death Egg, because everything about it is so cool, and it's actually fun to play. And Final Chase just feels like that, but like, with an annoying gimmick instead of just kind of a robust level design. But in general, this, even if I don't like a lot of the last stages, the ending itself is just really great to me. I very much enjoy, like, everything about it. Like, seeing Sonic survive, you know, teleporting in. Even though it's kind of funny that Knuckles has absolutely no context for what's going on, and he's, like, the only character available for Sonic to bounce off of in those final moments, I do love all those last lines. I'm gonna slam dunk it in there is very strong. Like, it is such a cool lead up to the final level, and it's a cool final level. And the final boss is, well, I mean, it's finicky to actually play, but it's conceptually very cool, and I think it looks mostly cool if played well, other than those few seconds where Shadow was just running and homing attack was just going on forever. Also, as a cool note, so if you play Hero Story, you don't know that Dr. Eggman knew all along that there was a fake Chaos Emerald. That's kind of the mystery from that point of view. If you play Team Dark first, Sonic's survival is actually kept a mystery. Like, you don't get the part of the cutscene where Sonic contemplates the Chaos Emerald, and during the final confrontation between Sonic and Shadow, Sonic doesn't pull out the fake emerald. So, like, you're not actually told how he survived, though considering he goes on and on about using his chaos control, the player can probably pick that up pretty easily at that point. But nonetheless, I still think it's cool that Dark Story also gets a sort of mystery for their side as well. So we're going to unlock a whole lot of things. I'm going to be showing off both the hero unlocks and the Dark Story unlocks. However, there is one more thing afterwards. The first story you beat will give you a preview for the other story, but when you beat the second story...
Shadow.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos control.
Space calling prayer.
Supersonic
Tears.
untamed power of chaos emerald.
Professor Gerald, the truth about 50 years ago.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.
That's a hell of a title. So with that, I will see you next time on Sonic Adventure 2 for the true last story.